Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. On Tuesday, some of Israel's closest allies, including the United States, condemned the deaths of 7 aid workers who were killed by airstrikes in Gaza. The attack prompted multiple charities to suspend food deliveries to Palestinians on the brink of starvation. The Israel Defense Forces and Prime Minister Netanyahu have called the airstrikes a mistake that happens in war, but that explanation has been dismissed by many, including Jose Andres, a chef within the World Central Kitchen organization. Andres said, quote, "This was not just a bad luck situation where, oops, we dropped a bomb in the wrong place. It's very clear who we are and what we do," end quote. Biden released a statement on Tuesday that mourned the deaths of 7 workers and included some of the most fiery and blunt language from the president since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. But on Wednesday, the administration reiterated its support of Israel's war against Hamas, while warning that they are not doing enough to protect civilians in the Palestinian enclave. Raising the risk of a wider Middle Eastern conflict, Iran has vowed to retaliate against Israel after accusing the country of bombing its embassy complex in Syria on Monday. According to Iran's foreign ministry, the airstrike destroyed the consulate building in the capital Damascus, killing at least 7 officials, including a top commander and senior commander in Iran's elite Revolutionary Guards. 6 Syrian citizens were also killed during the airstrike. Tehran is now warning of a serious response, and the powerful Iran-backed Lebanese militant group Hezbollah says the strike will be met with punishment and revenge. Iran is now looking at the United States for answers due to the government's support of Israel. Rescue teams in Taiwan are trying to reach more than 700 stranded people after one of the strongest earthquakes the country has experienced in 25 years. As of Thursday, April 4th, at least 10 people have now been confirmed dead and over 1,000 injured after a 7.4 magnitude powerful earthquake struck the island's west coast on Wednesday. The quake was followed by a strong aftershock, including a 6.4 magnitude tremor, causing at least 9 landslides. More than 300 aftershocks have forced terrified people to sleep in tents outside their houses or in emergency shelters. The earthquake set off tsunami warnings on the island and across neighboring countries. This story is ongoing and will continue to update you as more information is released. On Monday, the Florida Supreme Court paved the way for the state's 6-week abortion ban to take effect. By upholding Florida's current 15-week ban on abortion, the state Supreme Court triggered a 6-week abortion ban approved by Florida lawmakers last year. The law will take effect in 30 days, but the court approved a separate ruling which proposed a state constitutional amendment that would protect the right to an abortion in Florida, clearing it to go on the ballot this November, where both bans could potentially be undone. Monday's ruling will make Florida one of the most restrictive states in the country to obtain an abortion and set up a presidential year fight over reproductive rights. Well, there might be some truth to the old saying, "I need to get my beauty sleep." A new study out of Sweden says if you want to feel younger, prioritize getting plenty of sleep. Feeling younger than your actual age is associated with longer, healthier lives, but many of us wake up thinking, gosh, I sure do feel old. Researchers at Stockholm University conducted a pair of studies and found that the amount of sleep participants got was tied to how old or young they felt. Feeling extremely alert was related to feeling 4 years younger than one's actual age, while extreme sleepiness was related to feeling 6 years older. In other words, going from feeling alert to extremely sleepy added 10 years to how old one felt. So prioritizing sleep can help us feel young and in turn lead to a more active and healthy lifestyle. So get to bed and get your beauty sleep. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
James. He was surprised to find out that he has elevated blood pressure, which could turn into high blood pressure. So he talked with his doctor about a healthy path to get his numbers down. He quit smoking, which makes a big difference for his overall heart health. He also cut down on salt by watching out for high sodium on food labels and added a 30-minute walk 5 days a week to his routine. These healthy steps weren't easy, but lowering his blood pressure was worth it. Learn more about his healthy path.
Welcome back. With 100 positions on the chopping block, a number of recommendations have been made by Braintree School Superintendent James Lee. At the March 25th school committee meeting, Mr. Lee recommended cuts for the elementary schools along with the closure of the Highland Elementary School. In his outline on April 1st, Lee mentioned a total of 21 teaching jobs would be eliminated at the 2 middle schools and another 28 at the high school. Adding the 28 teachers that would be cut at the elementary level, a total of 77 teachers would be cut system-wide. Here's more from Superintendent Lee.
And again, most of the information that has come before is still accurate. There has been some small changes, which I can get into as I go through the presentation. So 75.5 represents a 0% increase. So we're going to start at South. So, and I'm going to preface, as I have the other presentations, these are the methods that we could use to get to a level funded budget. I'm not advocating for these cuts or saying these are wonderful ideas, but as we look at a deficit of $8 million, it represents, again, a lot of people. And so what you're going to see reflected is the best thinking that we have in terms of cuts that we would have to make in order to make up the $8 million deficit. So as I've also mentioned before, the numbers that you'll see upon the screen inevitably are actually people. And we'll keep that in mind as we walk through this conversation. So at South, the reductions that would be needed are 1.0 math person, 1.0 English person, 1.0 science person, 1.0 social studies person. That represents a team of teachers. In English language arts, we'd eliminate grade 8 writing, a 1.0 position. In math, it would be the elimination of grade 5 math lab, again, a 1.0 position. The media specialist in the library, who is part-time, that position would be eliminated. In physical education, it would be a 0.6 reduction in staffing there. In music, it would be a 0.6 reduction from 2 down to 1.4, but a 0.6 reduction overall. And in art, it would be a 0.4 reduction. And in world language, this would be the elimination of world language in grade 7. It represents 1.8 FTEs or personnel. The sister to South is East. East is a bigger school, so some of the cuts are being made proportionately in terms of the size of the school. Again, these are proposed cuts. These are not actual cuts. Again, you can see the elimination of a team, 1 math, 1 science, English. In essence, is a team of teachers. Math lab here as well in grade 5. The reduction in a language-based LECE math of 1.0 position. This is the other half of the elimination of world language in grade 7. It's a 1.2 personnel reduction. ELA writing in grade 8 would be eliminated. There'd be a 0.6 reduction in guidance. This is similar to South, a 0.5 reduction in media center. Again, that individual is part-time South, part-time East. 1.0 reduction in health or physical education, 0.5 reduction in music, and 0.5 reduction in art. To summarize what was on that slide, at South Middle School, it would result in 9.9 positions being lost, reductions in terms of money of $727,500. At East Middle School, it would result in 11.3 positions lost, or a reduction financially of $832,500. Programs lost would be 7th grade world language. It would be the elimination of academic levels on both East and South. It eliminates media. Those libraries would be staffed by paraprofessionals, and it would eliminate the team structures in the middle schools. Okay, at the high school, it's going to be a similar format, so I'll summarize it at the end. This is 2 pages. This would be the elimination of admin support in the copy center, 0.4. The registrar that registers new students coming into the school, 0.6. A security guard, that's a 1.0 cut. We currently have a hall monitor, that would be eliminated. This eliminates the media center specialist at the high school, it's 1.0. It's a reduction of 1 guidance counselor from the building. It's a reduction of 2 physical education positions. It's a reduction of 2 world language positions. It's a reduction of 3 social studies positions. It's a reduction of 3 science positions. It's a reduction of 2 English positions. It's a reduction of 3 math positions, and a reduction in art of 2 positions and music of 1 position. In total, it's 23 positions cut, financial cut of $1.643 million.
During Tuesday's town council meeting, Braintree Mayor Aaron Joyce announced 2 new appointments within the town. Mayor Joyce announced Christopher Ships, who will be taking the position as the town's Human Resource Director, and Christina O'Connell, who will be taking her new position as the town treasurer. Here's more from the new appointees at the council meeting.
Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Council President, councilors. Thank you for having me here. I'm honored for this privilege to be considered for the position of Human Resources Director for the town of Braintree. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am a human resources professional, as the mayor said, with over 20 years of human resources experience, progressively responsible. I have a master's degree in public administration. I have worked in the public sector, the private sector, as well as quasi-public sectors in both union and non-union environments. I'm somebody who can help an organization or department plan strategically, long-term, as well as somebody who can roll up his sleeves and manage successfully the day-to-day operations of a full-service human resources department.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate the welcome. Thank you, President and council members. I am super excited to be here. My name is Christina O'Connell, and I'm a resident of Braintree, and with your appointment tonight, hopefully, your next town treasurer. So what can I answer for you?
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am as I said, a Braintree resident. Been here about 19 years. Not a native, but a resident, long term. And I have an accounting degree, bachelor's degree, and a master's degree in administration from Central Michigan. Go Chippewas. I am an Army veteran, over 5 years active duty in the Finance Corps, and honorably discharged from that. After that, I moved to the private sector, but quickly found that I didn't have fulfillment in that position, simply because though I loved external auditing, internal auditing, it wasn't my jam. You know, I really wanted to serve the public. My time in the military showed me that there is no better, more fulfilling feeling than helping the public and doing public service. So I joined the FBI and then transferred over to the Internal Revenue Service when I realized that, you know, I have an accounting degree and an accounting background. So I spent over 20 years at the Internal Revenue Service, and I retired. I held multiple positions of leadership. I have over 12 years of leadership experience in the government system. I served as a special agent in charge of the New England Field Division for the Internal Revenue Service, supervising 13 offices, over 100 people, responsible for the tax collections across all of New England. Pardon me, I should say tax collections from Criminal Investigation Division across all of New England. From there, I went to Washington, D.C., and served as a deputy director over the finance and human resources and physical assets, physical capital assets offices. 3,000 people, budget of $658 million annually. I executed those with a staff of probably about 60 to 75 people in very tumultuous times during COVID. I know everybody is aware of the challenges that were brought to bear during that time. So I have over 27 years of government experience in the public financial sector. I am incredibly excited. As I was telling the mayor in my interview, this is the job that I always wanted.
To watch either of these meetings in full, head to BCAM TV's government channels Comcast Channel 8 and Verizon Channel 26, or head to youtube.com/BCAMTV. Local officials are continuing to warn residents about swimming in the Manatequit River. District 3 Town Councilor Elizabeth Maglio posted a video on social media showing how sewage and stormwater was being disposed of into the Fore River Basin. In her post, Maglio explained doing this prevents a mix of sewage and stormwater from backing up into residents' basements. The area becomes more polluted every day and is not safe for swimming, fishing, or other recreational activities. Some residents were displeased with the footage and are calling out the mayor's office. According to Maglio, more information about mitigation and funding will soon be available to residents. The Town Hall will be hosting a food and diaper drive this week. Sponsored by the Norfolk County Central Labor Council and United Way of Massachusetts Bay, the event will take place at Braintree Town Hall. From 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on April 6th, residents and members of the community can donate food and diapers at the drive to benefit the Marge Crispin Center. Ann Tolan, director of the Marge Crispin Center, had some details to share about the drive during this week's Town Council meeting. Here's more.
This coming Saturday, the Norfolk County Central Labor Council and a number of the unions are going to have their annual food drive out here out front, and it's from 9 until 12. And on behalf of my staff and our volunteers, and I have Martha is here with me. She's the chairman of our board of directors. We just want to publicly thank all the unions for their support over the years. It's really been tremendous. This one will be a food and diaper drive, and it will be drive up, and it's from 9 until 12.
Excitement is building in Braintree for the April 8th total solar eclipse. Although the South Shore is not going to be directly along the path where the sun will be 100% covered by the moon, we are going to see a sun that is about 90% covered by the moon. The solar eclipse is set to occur on April 8th from 2 to 4 p.m. Solar eclipse glasses are recommended for watching the eclipse as it happens, and luckily, there are ways to get them for free. The Thomas Crane Library in Quincy announced there will be 100 to 150 pairs of eclipse glasses available on the day of the event, as well as an outdoor and indoor viewing party open to the public. As a reminder, NASA experts say regular sunglasses do not count as eclipse glasses. According to NASA, safe solar viewers are thousands of times darker and comply with the international standard. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Do you know that electrical failures are the third leading cause of home fires? Cords and plugs led in this category, while extension cords dominated this category. To avoid these fires, plug heat-generated appliances directly into an outlet. Do not use power strips or extension cords on these appliances. Power strips are designed for use with electronics only. Do not put electrical cords underneath rugs or pinch behind furniture. Do not overload outlets. Charge laptops and phones on hard surfaces only. Finally, if an electrical device is not working as designed, it is time to repair it or replace it. Be conscious of your home environment and be safe, and thank you for doing so.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey has announced that her administration will turn the former Chelsea Soldiers Home facility, which is currently vacant, into more housing for migrants. Residents in the state are furious that the former veteran housing facility is being turned into a migrant shelter, when on a single night in 2023, there were 545 homeless veterans in the state of Massachusetts, according to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Secretary of Veterans Services Dr. John Santiago insisted transforming the site will not affect services for veterans. The site will accommodate 100 families. On March 22nd, the state Senate approved limits on how long homeless families can stay in emergency state shelters as part of an $850 million plan to fund the system at the center of the migrant crisis. The maximum stay was limited to 9 months with the possibility of 90 more days for special groups. There is no word on what happens to them after the 9 months. Massachusetts authorities are investigating an apparent homicide after a Weymouth woman was found dead in her home. 56-year-old Christine Ruth Mello's remains were discovered Monday after she had been reported missing. An autopsy was conducted on Mello's remains Tuesday morning at the state's office of the chief medical examiner, and investigators believe Mello may have been dead for a number of days. Neighbors of Mello's told WCVB that a man had recently moved into her home. Anthony Arredondo, who lives in the adjoining duplex unit, said he sent Mello a text message. Arredondo said, quote, "She apparently responded, but we didn't know if it was her because the texts were kind of wonky and they just didn't look right," end quote. Quincy City Council President Ian Cain filed paperwork with the Federal Election Commission on Monday, clearing the way for a possible U.S. Senate run. The filing was a necessary step to gain ballot access in November, but according to a representative, Cain will not formally announce his decision until later this month. Cain was first elected Ward 3 City Councilor in 2016 and this year became the city's first Black and gay council president. Cain is a co-founder of Cubic Labs, a Quincy nonprofit that supports startups in the fields of finance and civic technologies. The city councilor also serves as president of the High Point Group. If he decides to run, the 41-year-old Republican would challenge two-term Democratic Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Last Wednesday, fans of the popular TV series The Queen's Gambit had the chance to see the real thing in person. Nadia Kosentseva, one of the world's top chess players, gave a simul exhibition at the South Shore Chess Club in Quincy, where she played 33 opponents at the same time. At the beginning of the simul, Kosentseva paced along the inner perimeter of 5 banquet tables. On the other side sat 33 nervous challengers. Some said they came for the privilege of being soundly defeated by a Grand Master. As the night went on, king after king fell crowned first on the checkerboards. The master chess player's route turned from a large rectangle to a zigzag between surviving players. After 4 hours, the last king fell, leaving only the queen standing. A public access television producer in Avon is producing a show about the Quincy shipyard. He is looking for former shipyard workers who would like to talk about their experience there. If you're interested in sharing your story, please contact Bruce Lane at 508-510-3944 or email him at crkrbrl@msn.com. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
That time of the year again, flu season. Getting vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19 can help keep you, your family, and your community healthy. You can even get both vaccines at the same time. Visit mass.gov/flushot to learn more.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. This week in entertainment, we have 3 movie recommendations for you to watch. First, All of Us Strangers follows a screenwriter drawn back to his childhood home who enters into a blooming relationship with his downstairs neighbor while discovering a mysterious new way to heal from losing his parents 30 years ago. The film stars Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott. You can watch All of Us Strangers now on Hulu. Next, Ricky Stenicki follows 3 childhood best friends who pull a prank that goes wrong. As a result, they invent the imaginary Ricky Stenicki to get them out of trouble. 20 years later, they still use the non-existent Ricky as a handy alibi for their immature behavior. The film stars Zac Efron and John Cena. You can watch Ricky Stenicki now on Amazon Prime. Finally, Damsel follows a young woman who agrees to marry a handsome prince, only to discover it was all a trap. She is thrown into a cave with a fire-breathing dragon and must rely solely on her wits and will to survive. The film stars Millie Bobby Brown, and you can watch Damsel now on Netflix. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.